Hello YouTube ladies, gentlemen and peeps, welcome back. I'm your host, MrRandomUHD. I hope everyone is well and having a good weekend so far. Today is Saturday and that means Showcase Saturday, people. Yes. And yeah, let me bring up the window so you can see what I'll be reacting to. Here we go in just a second. And I think I got it right. I don't want that bit up there. Okay, as you can see, I will be reacting to a video called I Tried Police Academy, and this is by the YouTuber called Michelle Khan. I've reacted to a couple of videos on my channel, and yeah, this should be interesting. So yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy, grab your favourite beer, beverage, pop soda, tea, coffee. You know the drill by now, as always. Got my tea. Cheers. Cheers. And yeah, I've got some new lighting for my recording for my desk setup on top of my desk. And yeah, comment down below, let me know how it is, if I need to tweak it or anything. And yeah, sit back, relax and enjoy without any further diddly-day. Shall we jump right into this, shall we? Okay, let's do this. In 3, 2...
Down victims out of here. The shot is definitely a handgun. Shots fired! Shots fired!
I want to believe that all police are good people, genuinely trying to better the community. But it's conflicting when everything I see in the media tells a different story.
Police Academy is a mental game. If you allow the nerves and the...
Okay, start again with the subtitles.
I want to believe that all police are good people, genuinely trying to better the community. But it's conflicting when everything I see in the media tells a different story.
Exactly.
Police Academy is a mental game. If you allow the nerves and the mental game to run away from you, that's when people crash and burn.
Michelle Khan, challenge accepted.
This is a video that I have been interested in doing for a long time. The concept of having a police force should be a great thing. It should be a great thing to feel protected, to have someone to call if an emergency happens. And right now, I don't think that everybody in America feels comfortable making that call. I wanted to be really selective when choosing the place and the people for this video. So we are actually traveling to San Diego right now, which is the #1 ranked police department in America. I figure if we are going to be able to have this type of conversation with anyone, it should be the people who theoretically are doing it right.
My name is Sandy Albrechtsen. I'm with San Diego Police Department. I've been lucky enough to be there for 37 years. For the next few days, Michelle will experience a small piece of what it's like to be a law enforcement officer. Most people have never done anything remotely similar to what we do. It comes with lots of highs, lots of lows, and the Police Academy is a mental game. If you allow the nerves and the mental game to run away from you, that's when people crash and burn.
So one of the cool things about San Diego is that there is a harbor unit and beach patrol, which is different from most cities in America.
5 miles per hour, slow down.
We just toned it down, but those are things we look for, because look, we have kayakers and everything like that out in the water. We try to just make sure everybody's safe.
It was pretty neat to see the police in action and be on that side of things. We actually responded to 3 calls within a span of 5 minutes, which I wasn't anticipating at all.
3 calls.
It looks like the boat turned over and then got pushed into the rocks. So lifeguards are assisting with turning the boat back over.
A lot of sailboats, they'll flip over because of the heavy winds in this area, but they can usually get themselves back upright.
There was a moment when one of the officers pulled over another boat because someone was sitting on the front of the boat unsafely.
Hello? You guys can't be bow riding. If he falls off, you guys are gonna run him over. Thank you.
They weren't given a ticket, they weren't given a citation. I just felt like everyone on the boat was frustrated and embarrassed. I can see a bit now how as a police officer it's difficult to even politely ask people to be safer or to do the right thing because people frequently assume the worst of you. Do you ever feel bad, like embarrassing people?
I don't feel like people should be embarrassed. I wouldn't feel embarrassed if someone told me like, hey, you're doing something that can harm yourself or other people.
I'm Kristen Robinson. I've been an officer with the San Diego Police Department for almost 4 years now.
And I'm Jonathan Lowe. I'm the sergeant in the recruiting unit for San Diego Police Department. Been on for 20 years. We're here today at the obstacle course. The things that you're going to experience today, whether it's the wall, the stairs, the dummy drag, we want you to be able to do in one continuous motion.
So in my Marines video, I got to experience the obstacle course at Paris Island. What is the difference between this obstacle course and the obstacle courses that we might see in the military?
This one is actually built to simulate a foot pursuit. As an officer, we have to be able to, number one, be physically fit to keep up with a person and hopefully catch them. Number two, be agile enough to get over different obstacles, backyard fences, little walls, big walls. And then number three, you have to also imagine a vest, a gun belt, boots. Most of us are about 25 to 30 pounds heavier than we normally are when we're in full uniform. These are all things that we have to think about. And you have 3 minutes and 15 seconds to get across that finish line.
Oh my God, my heart rate is so high already.
You ready?
I'm fine.
Foot behind the line. 3, 2, 1, go.
Can Michelle do it?
You turn around. Come back this way. You turn around here. Nice, good pace. Go under the bars. Okay, up the ladder. Here we go. Nice and easy. Plant that hand down. Swing over. Good. Up over the 3-foot wall. Boom. Second ladder just like you did a second ago. Grab over, swing, good. Go across, and you're gonna go up the steps. Every step on the way up, circle the cone up top. You're at 41. Touch each step on the way down. As you come down, control your breathing. You're at 117, ready to go. Go straight down, weave through these cones. You're dodging obstacles, you're dodging cars, you're dodging people. Swing around, go back through. Watch your footing, good. Come over here on the 4-foot wall, let's go. Up and over, good. 6-foot wall. Get all the way up. Jump straight up in the air. Here we go. You can do it, good. Hook the elbow. Now swing your foot. Get your heel over. There you go. Pull yourself. Good. All right, here we go. This is your partner now. Let's rescue him. Sit him straight up. Get close to his butt. Stand up. Stand all the way up. Stand up straight first. Good. Move your feet back. Hold on to him. You're already halfway there. Go straight, go straight. That's all right. Get back up. You only have 3 more feet. No, you have to sit him up. You have to pick him up. There you go. And good. All right, let's go. All the way around, swing wide. Go around that far cone. 231 now. Let's go. Here we go. Let's go, Michelle. Last little sprint. 100-yard sprint. We're going to go down around that far column. All the way. Woo!
Nice.
3:05 with 10 seconds to spare. Good job. Right here. You're too tired. There she is. This is what we tell folks. You're at the end of the course. You just caught the guy. But now they're gonna fight you and you have to get handcuffs on him. A lot to think about.
Yeah, 3 minutes. That was 3 minutes of being a police officer.
I'm Casey Moss. I work for the Firearms Training Unit at San Diego Police Department. I've been on the department for about 7 years.
I'm Sergeant Chris Thoreau. I'm the Range Master for the Firearms Training Unit, and I've been with the department for 29 years. This is what the recruits in the police department are being issued. This is the Glock 17 Gen 5. It's a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
I think people believe that shooting is so easy that I could shoot your shoelace off your shoe. When you start thinking about moving targets and accuracy, it's not like what you see in the movies. It's much harder and takes much more concentration.
Oh wow, these photos. So we have some different targets up here. We're gonna shoot on this center one right here. We're gonna try and be aiming for that outlined box. We call that the upper A zone. That's where all the organs are that are gonna help stop the threat, right?
There's always the question of why couldn't you shoot the knife out of their hand? If we do try to shoot somebody in the hand, there's a greater likelihood that we're gonna miss. And then that bullet is gonna continue downrange and it's gonna hit something that we don't want to strike. That's not acceptable because we're accountable for every single round that comes out of our gun.
So I have a question about
about this. What do these colors mean?
This is actually a target for our less lethal weapons, so our beanbag shotgun and our 40mm launcher. Green are go zones, the yellow are be careful zones, and the red are hey. We really don't want to hit somebody in those areas. Yeah, that's the no-no square.
Get that good sight picture.
The no-no square.
My name is Sean Takeuchi. I've been a member of the San Diego Police Department for a little over 22 years. I've got to work as a patrol officer. I got to work as a community relations officer where I headed up neighborhood watch groups. I also got to work the homicide unit. After my second year of college, I realized that this is the one job that really makes a difference in people's lives. I get to tell the stories of how I helped people each and every day. I've administered someone CPR. They were non-breathing. I get there, I apply CPR, and now they're living life. That's an impactful moment.
Thank you so much for your service, first of all. A lot of my perspective on what police officers are comes from social media. I want to have an open conversation with you about these issues because I understand that I might not have the full story. I sometimes think about myself in those situations. I don't know how or when I would decide to use a force against someone.
On our qualification targets, we actually have them turn. Here's a 1-second turn.
That's the amount of time you have to shoot?
That's the goal, is to get from the holster, out on target, 1 round in 1 second.
1 second?
We don't pull a gun because we can pull a gun. We may utilize that level of force because that officer has a fear of either their life or someone else's life. That's a tremendous responsibility.
Have you ever had to use a firearm while you were in the field?
2 times. It was kind of surreal,
2 times.
But it's amazing how much goes through your mind in a very short amount of time. The last incident that I was involved in was a series robbery suspect who was armed. I had no other options at the time. He was reaching for his gun.
You do so much training for one moment, and you hope that it pays off.
Yeah, you know, gunfight can be about 1.5 seconds long.
What we see in the TV shows and whatnot is that it's like this 20-minute chase ordeal, and everyone has time to think.
There are incidents that do drag on, but the initial confrontation can be 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds long.
Now we're going to be firing 3 rounds in 3 seconds. That's our qualification from the 3-yard line. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Stand by. Woo! Nice job. Holster up.
How can we trust the people who are protecting us if we see these crazy stories of police brutality, specifically against people of color?
On a daily basis, we've got a community meeting going on, and our officers are always there at those community meetings. So what I encourage is the community to come out to those meetings, participate. I think that daily dialogue or the monthly dialogue is very, very important. We serve a population of about 1.42 million people, and so we go out to all various communities to recruit. The more we represent the diverse community, the more that trust that you were talking about is established.
I see the people that I'm meeting as people who are genuinely working to better the lives of the citizens and protect people. It's just really conflicting for me when I'm constantly bombarded with the negatives. Tomorrow I'll be able to experience some of the more difficult parts of this job, administering a taser, dealing pepper spray, and I think that's going to be a completely different side to this that will give me a different lens into what these trending stories actually mean.
Tactical driving.
We're going to start out with a little skid training, and then after we're done with that, we're going to do some pursuit driving. The top priority is safety for the public, but we also want to make sure we catch the bad guys, and that's what we're going to show you what to do.
How often have you chased someone in a car?
About once a year, I guess, for me in my career. I was actually a participant in one of the most high-profile pursuits with San Diego PD, which was chasing a stolen tank through the city.
A stolen tank?
A stolen M60 tank is plowing a path of destruction through city streets. San Diego Police Department, everybody go back in your house, get off the street.
He had military experience and just crushing cars and running over RVs. No one got hurt, thank God, but yeah, he was driving all over the city.
Holy cow.
Stolen tank.
This was several years ago. It's on YouTube, actually. We're going to do what's called oversteer. So this is when the rear end pitches out, you know, drifting, power slide, fishtailing. You're coming through a turn too high, and then you lose that adhesion of the tires to the pavement. The rear end's always going to go to the outside, and you steer towards the rear. So we'll start bringing the speed up just a little bit. So you feel it starting to break. Steer, 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 steer.
Jesus. Oh my God.
So the car stalled because the computer shut us down. It thinks we crashed. So go ahead and start.
It thinks we crashed. Great.
The instant you feel that rear end brake, you have to steer into the skid. It's fun though, right?
It is fun.
It's better than the teacups.
What's a teacup? Oh, at Disneyland.
Teacups.
Here we go, number 2. Let's do it.
So when I say steer, you steer like your life depends on it.
All right, here we go. Pick up speed.
Steer, 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 steer. Keep looking over there.
Whoa, hire me Fast and Furious.
Not bad.
You're doing good. You're doing actually better than the average recruit that we get behind the wheel.
Okay, great.
So we are done with the skid training, and now what we're going to do is show you how to chase bad guys in a police car. In addition to chasing a bad guy, we're going to have what we call an interference vehicle out there. They have their windows up, their stereo on, they're not hearing the sirens, and they're going to pull right out in front of you. So you need to be able to stop and clear that intersection, basically is what we're teaching you to do. So we're going to do 3 laps. With each lap, we're going to progressively go a little faster. One of the things I'm going to expect you to do is just kind of call directions. Northbound Jones Street, whatever you want to say. Get on the radio. See, I have a failure to yield stolen police car.
Failure to yield stolen police car northbound towards C3.
Okay, good. Now, here you're going to start out wide and come in on the apex of the turn. Keeping your eyes up, drift in, and then all the way to the floor. So here in this little straightaway, stay on the outside portion of the lane. Good. Brake in a straight line. You're going to come in on this inside portion of the turn and let it kind of drift out. Eyes up high, all the way to the floor. The interference vehicle is probably going to be in play here soon. So if you see another police car coming at you, make eye contact and stop.
Oh my Christ.
Here comes that interference car.
Stop, hit your yelp button.
Woo!
We don't want to be so focused on the suspect that we don't see a car exiting a driveway, a kid on a bicycle, a ball rolling into the street. Again, safety is the #1 factor here.
You don't want to get tunnel vision. You don't want to get so into the pursuit that you kind of lose what's going on around you.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine doing this with like people and pedestrians.
It's a different game when you're out there.
There's this adrenaline dump that hits us all. You get excited, you start breathing real fast, but as a police officer, you're thinking about putting all the information out to your partners, coordinating with the helicopter. We want our officers to be in control at all times when they're pursued. Physically, over the car, and emotionally with all the adrenaline and the stress that's happening.
Yeah. Come in on the apex. Good. Oh! Almost did a little oversteer there.
I hit a cone, damn it!
Did you? Yeah, you did, didn't you? You're getting kind of...
Getting too comfortable.
When you get in the moment here and all you want to do is catch the bad guy, it's easy to kind of get that tunnel vision. All right, Marty, good job, brother.
This was really fun.
You did good enough to pass pursuit drive.
Really?
Yes, you did. We need to get her a real badge. She's ready to go.
I'm gonna refrain from that responsibility.
I'm Officer Ken Crease with the San Diego Police Department. I'm one of our defensive tactics instructors. Today we're going to go over some of the force options that police officers use to take people into custody. We'll start at the lowest level that officers use and progress to the highest level.
Anytime you apply any amount of force, it's not pretty. We take that type of intervention very seriously and we use it as a last resort.
The lowest level of force would be compliant behavior. We're going to set up a suspect here who has a warrant for their arrest, and you're simply going to introduce yourself and we'll put the cuffs on.
Hi. My name is Officer Khare, and we have a warrant for your arrest. Could you please turn around? Put your hands together, knuckles touching, feet separated, and lean back.
And come down here. Excellent.
Do you ever deal with someone that easy to arrest?
Yeah, we deal with people like this all the time. That's probably the majority of our stops.
When we watch videos, you don't see someone standing there saying, okay, arrest me. You don't have to agree with the reason why we're interacting with you. That's for the court of law, but it's not for fighting us on the street.
So Michelle, this person is a protester. They don't form a threat to you. Clearly see they don't have weapons. Sitting in the middle of the street maybe, blocking traffic. They're not gonna stand up, so how do I get them up? I'm gonna apply some pain compliance. I will do it to you so you can feel it, and then I want you to demo it to Mike. I've given you commands to stand up. We're going to apply pain. You've decided that you're going to refuse.
I don't want to, but okay.
I'm going to control your head, stabilize it, and there's a nerve right in here, and I'll find it. You can kind of feel that. Yes, feel that right there. And what I do is I'm going to push in and then forward, and I'm going to give you commands. Go ahead and stand up, stand up, stand up. Okay, there you go. Place your hands to the small of your back. And that's it. It's just simply pain. There's no injury to the spot, just compressing a nerve. So Mike's going to go ahead and get down, and you're going to use it on Mike.
Now push in.
See that?
Face?
There you go. So what we're going to do is say, I need you to stand up or I'm going to apply pain.
I need you to stand up or I'm going to apply pain.
Nope, not going to come in. So you're going to push in, and we're going to encourage him to stand up as you apply pressure hard.
Stand up, please. Please stand up.
Now he's going to move up into a higher level force, active resistance. You're going to come up to Mike. You're going to tell him he's under arrest for a warrant, and he's not going to comply. So on this one, we're going to let you use some pepper spray. The pepper spray's out in front, and this hand is kind of up here, but sometimes you get some back spray depending on the wind.
Hello, my name is Officer Khare. Your arrest, we have a warrant.
I'm not going to fight you. You're not taking me to jail. Okay, so go ahead and give him a warning. You're going to get pepper sprayed.
If you don't turn around and put your hands behind your back, I am going to pepper spray you.
If you believe he has a weapon on him, let's say he has a pocket knife, you could use a taser.
This is a real taser?
This is a real taser.
Oh.
So what we're simply going to do is that suspect's exhibiting assaultive behavior. So you're going to point it at the suspect and you're going to say,
get down on the ground. You're going to get tased.
Now you're going to say,
taser, taser, taser.
That is the warning to the officers around when it shoots the darts, makes a loud pop, and could be misinterpreted as gunfire. Officers going in, they're grabbing the suspect, we're getting control of his wrist, we might put in a wrist lock on him.
Wow.
Great leg shot, fantastic shot here. We've got a good spread. This person is going to be much easier for us to take into custody because they're going to have a tremendous neuromuscular lockup from that. This person wants to hurt the police officer. They're grabbing onto the officer. They're not trying to get away. They're actively fighting with the officer. So baton can be introduced now. We avoid from the neck up because we don't want to seriously injure somebody. And we avoid anywhere in the spinal column, anywhere behind the kidneys. Arms are great targets, and the legs.
It feels really weird to use force against another person. Especially holding the baton was like really bizarre for me because I've only seen the negative social media videos of police officers using them against protesters.
The suspect is coming to punch you. You can drive your hand into that face. That's kind of where we want you. If I'm driving your face this way, very difficult for you to throw balanced punches. Right. Now he's going to come at you. Good strikes.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Move to the rear. Move to the side. And then move out. Move out. Back up. And then from there, good. We'll assess. We'll pull this back kind of in a fighting, ready to go. And we move and get some distance. And we'll just hold right here.
It just feels weird. Like, I didn't even want myself to be filmed hitting a dummy with a baton and yelling that. I have to remember that all of these are last resort techniques.
That's why we always try to educate the public is comply with the police officer. And there's a legal course for you afterwards. Don't pull away. Don't start to reach for your waistband. And then set off a chain of events that's wildly chaotic, uncertain, tense. And anything can happen.
It's important to know that it's not a pleasant thing, and so our officers experience the less lethal forms of force, like the taser.
We're going to use alligator clips. We're not going to shoot the darts into you, okay? But you will experience the same exact effect of being hit with the darts. You're going to get between 1,200 and 2,500 volts.
What does that mean?
That means you're going to get a little bit of current going through your body that is going to lock up your muscles for 5 seconds.
What does this feel like?
It's hard to explain. I'm going to tell you that it feels like a kind of like a jackhammer.
Wait, this is happening really fast. I don't like this. Are you guys gonna hold me?
They're gonna hold you. Whatever happens to you, they're gonna keep you from falling.
Wait. Oh my God!
You can do this. All our recruits do it. Just hang on. 5 seconds. Hang on. Ready?
Yes.
Taser, taser, taser. Hang on. 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're done. Yes, nice job. Hang on, stay with her. Hang on, don't move. We're gonna take the alligator clips off. You got the one, just catch your breath for a second.
What does that feel
like?
like?
Catch your breath. Let me ask you this, if you were a suspect, could you have fought through that? Could you have attacked the police officer?
No.
That's why it's so effective. And I always go back to this. I don't have to tase you if you comply with what I tell you to do.
So she'll be responding to a fight between 2 males. I'm going to confront her. I'm going to draw a gun from my backside and see what her reaction is.
Sometimes from the minute they're stepping out of the car, somebody's videotaping them. Things happen incredibly fast, and that is why training is so important, so that they can make decisions that are ethical and efficient on the drop of a dime.
Hello, sir. My name is Officer Khare. I'm going to need you to go to that wall and turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Stay away from me.
Partner, watch it. Just watch him. Watch his hands. Keep going. Keep talking to him.
Stay away. I'm not
What's
going
that?
back.
Let me see your hands.
I'm not going back. What are you going to do? Huh?
Put your hands up.
What?
Shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
What are we doing? Check your gun. Check your gun. Get behind cover, guys. What are we going to do?
When 17-year-old Trayvon Martin died at the hands of George Zimmerman in 2012, protests sprung up around the country.
There is growing outrage tonight after an unarmed African-American teenager was shot and killed by police in the St. Louis suburb of Ferguson, Missouri.
We're not going to let this go unchecked.
This healing is going to be hard.
We as a society have to take this seriously. And it's incumbent then on the activists to also take seriously the tough job that police have.
How do you feel about the Black Lives Matter and Blue Lives Matter movements?
It comes down to mutual respect and understanding that there's differences. It's okay that there's differences, but we need to grow together and grow in harmony. Personally, it hurts when I see the clash. I've worked for over 22 years hard to make sure that I'm there for the community. My family's part of this community, and so it is difficult. However, our job is to always be there for the people, and when they call 911, no matter how we may disagree, we're gonna come there.
Not everybody's gonna like us. I don't expect that, but when the wolves come and bad things happen, the police are gonna be the one to run to the danger.
This guy, he came into my store, he punched me right in the face. That guy right there in the black hooded sweatshirt.
Sir?
What's that, man? 5'10". Going up the stairs. Get down on the ground now! Get down on the ground now! Get down on the ground! Get off me! What do you want from this? Get the gun! Back the gun! Get your gun back, Michelle. It's over here. Here, get your knees inside. Kick, Michelle, kick! Get inside. Get your both legs inside, Michelle. Targeting. Where's the groin? Where's the groin, Michelle? Grab the inside of the pants for the groin. Get up tactically. Put your hands up. I give up. Under this side, Michelle. Over on this side. Come over here. Just control that arm. And he's handcuffed. Innocent error.
We did not rehearse that.
She did really good. She hasn't gone through any professional training prior to this, and she's got that kind of a survival mentality. So when she got overwhelmed in here, she just went to her natural instinct, was striking, keep moving. It's what we encourage people to do. She got some distance. She then was able to get back into the fight and help her officer. So did a wonderful job, she really did. What was the suspect doing to your partner? Was he punching him, striking him?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, don't even remember. It happened so fast. I had you write a police report right now. How detailed would that be? Be kind of difficult. You'd have a lot of gaps of time in there because I don't remember all that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the officer's lying either.
I'm Sergeant Michael Bells. I work in the in-service training unit, and I'm one of the active shooter instructors for the department. We're going to set up a scenario where you and I and another officer are all going to respond to an active shooter call. If we see him, we're going to engage with him, and if he sees us, he's going to try and engage with us.
Especially with all the shootings that are happening, especially Parkland. I've met students from there before. It feels very real.
My name is Francisco Roman. I'm a police officer with San Diego Police Department. On June 23rd of 2018, me and two of my partners responded to a domestic violence call at a condo complex.
So we were responding to an active shooter incident. Our suspect is wearing a black sweatshirt and tan pants.
Once we get there, we start knocking on the door. No one answers. We see two deadbolts on the door. So that's the first red sign. We're like, it's kind of weird.
Josh, we're going to clear this first room on the right. You cover the hallway. Okay. You see anybody on your side?
No. Is anyone behind the couch?
No, my side's clear also. Let's keep moving.
Next, we start smelling smoke. So it goes from domestic violence to now it's possible fire inside. So we call for the fire department.
Josh, why don't you lead into the next room?
I'm covering the hallway?
Yep. Go ahead and go.
So the first firefighter gets up there. Before we even open the door, you kind of get the little hairs in the back of your neck stand up. He breaks the door open. The door swings open. He takes a step out of the way. And we immediately start getting shot at with an AR-15.
Wow.
Josh, you got anything on your side?
Hey, it's out here, it's out here.
Where'd you see him go?
To the left.
The person inside continues to shoot through the door and through the wall at us. Hits one of my partners, Danny by him. I look, I see him fall, and there's two things that run through my mind. Either he's seriously injured or he's dead.
Hey, we got one hit, one hit.
He says, I can't move. He lost all the feeling in his entire body at this point. Trying to drag him out of the way, and we're still getting shot at through the wall.
Come on, Danny.
Michelle, step off to your right. You're going to hold the hallway for us. Josh and I are going to start clearing these rooms.
We get to the end of the hallway where there's a window. So my other partner, Sean Bogerman, he sets himself up on a small little balcony to provide cover for us. The guy pops his head out and starts shooting down the hallway.
Hey, he's here, he's here.
Stay on him, stay on him.
I feel like a sharp pain in my shoulder. I look down at my shoulder and it's like cherry red, just leaking blood. I didn't realize that I was shot 2 more times in the chest and through the neck, and it came out of my chin here.
You didn't even notice?
I didn't feel it. At this time, Danny starts to get some feeling back in his body. Danny dives out head first, and then I follow. It was about like a 20-foot drop. They immediately rushed us to the hospital. They put me in a medically induced coma. 2 days later is when I woke up. That's when I realized, oh, I'm in the hospital, so I'm alive.
Is he still there?
Let's go move out. Let's move after him. Let's move after him.
He's down.
Even just doing this active shooter drill was terrifying, and I knew I wasn't going to die. What do you wish people knew about being a police officer when social media is populated with one story about who you are?
That we care. We genuinely care about the community. We understand that as police officers, we meet people at the worst time of their lives and want them to feel comfort that we're there and not be scared of us. I mean, we walk into every call with the mentality that everybody gets a fair shot. I personally like to think everybody's good. Unfortunately, it always doesn't work out that way for us.
My name is Josh Defoe. I'm a sergeant with the police department. I work in our training division.
And so what is our final event for today?
So the final event today, you'll be pepper sprayed. We do this to the officers in the police academy for a couple reasons. First is so they know what it feels like if they accidentally get sprayed by, say, another officer or even a bad guy. And so they know what the suspect is feeling. So when the suspect says, my face really hurt, they understand that it does really hurt. I'll say cover one eye. I'll give you a little blessing of pepper spray. You'll go over to Officer Roten, hit that bag. Okay. He's going to move around as if he was a suspect out in the field that you have to fight with. From there, you go over to Officer Crease and you have to handcuff him.
Okay. Jesus Christ. The best way to explain the pepper spray was that it absolutely f***ing sucks.
Stop right there, cover one eye. Go.
Pepper spray feels like a combination of your skin being on fire, the hottest pepper you've ever tasted, and the worst bee sting of your life. Wow. I thought that I would just feel the pain in one eye because I was covering the other, and it bled over into my other eye. And when I got to the kicking and fighting portion, I couldn't even see. I was doing it completely blind. I can't see.
Yes, you can. Come on, come on. All right, handcuffing. Give him commands.
Put your hands behind your back. Fingers out.
There you go.
I can't see.
I know. You got to try to get that other eye open. Not too tight, not too tight. Now take this. You need to use the other end when they handcuff you around. Okay, that's it. Over here to the water. Tilt your head sideways. Run in your eye. You got to open your eye. Unless you get your eye open, that's not going to come out there.
It's burning. The worst part of the experience is that it lasts for 24 hours. It spreads like a virus. Anything the pepper spray touches burns. I just wanted to stop! I kind of had a misconception that this might be a little bit easier than the military training I've done before, and it was still very, very hard. The gas chamber of the Marines really, really sucked, but it was over a few minutes after we got out of the chamber. It's been about half an hour, and I still feel like my skin is going to burn off my face. I think it would definitely take me a really long time to train the muscle to run towards danger.
When I first heard that Michelle was going to train with us, I was really excited for the opportunity so that Michelle's audience can see the perspective of an officer. I think what Michelle learned is how much stress an officer goes through, how many different things are happening all at once, how things can change in the blink of an eye to go from a casual contact to some deadly encounter, and officers have to be prepared for all those things.
It's really unfortunate when police brutality occurs, and I will continue to use my platform to fight against that. However, at the same time, there are many, many men and women in uniform who are doing the right thing every single day and don't make the news headlines. And I think it's important to recognize and honor them as well.
So tomorrow's Pride in San Diego, it's a huge event. Hundreds of thousands of people come to San Diego just for Pride. As the San Diego Police Department, we are fortunate enough to have such a good working relationship with the LGBTQ community that we're always invited to march in uniform in the parade. So Michelle is going to join us. She's going to see, it's really a celebration of coming together with our community.
The parade is really fun.
Okay, I'm excited.
Even though you're just walking, it's a way to really see how many people really accept LGBT people. When I first came out, there was a lot of transgender individuals who had hate crimes committed against them and didn't feel safe coming to the police. So that was something that I wanted to change. That's not going to happen overnight, but we are getting there here in San Diego. That's by having a dialogue with our community, chiefs advisory boards where our community can come in to our home and tell us what their needs are. Those are all things that are going to help the community feel safer.
Being part of the LGBT community myself, it's important to me because when I first joined the police department, I wasn't out. You know, I was scared. I joined 20 years ago. Times have changed a lot since then. Seeing how the San Diego Police Department really is culturally and how inviting we are and how diverse we are. It encouraged me to come out of the closet as well and show them that we're a part of the community as well.
Going into this experience, I had a very narrow understanding of really what it means to protect a community. I feel like we just take it for granted, this protection. I really cannot fathom the courage required to just patrol a neighborhood knowing that it could escalate into a high-speed chase, into a shooting, into anything. That requires some pretty amazing training. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment below with what you want to see me take on next, and challenge accepted. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I really encourage you guys to become more involved in your local police departments, and I've listed some resources and links below if you want to do the same. Thanks very much for watching, and have a great day. Bye!
Alright, let's give that video a thumbs up. Okay, and thumbnail. Probably that thumbnail. Okay, thumbnail. Alright, let's bring this back down to the main middle monitor. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video and my reactions. If you're new, consider subscribing, turn on that notification bell, hit that thumbs up button, helps out the channel, helps me out as well, lets YouTube know that you like this content. And until next time, which will be tomorrow for Sunday Fun Day, I am your host, MrRandomUHD, signing out for now. Bye bye and take care.